Hey there, I thought I might take you along with me on my morning walk this morning. So yeah, let's get started. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about one of the main areas where I like to walk, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Here we go. I am at North Water Tower Park in Sarasota, Florida, which is right across the street from where we live. And it is a glorious, beautiful day in Florida today. I couldn't ask for much nicer weather than this. And I hear that this may be leaving us soon as Florida summer starts to arrive. But yeah, let's get started. Here's the main walking path, and off we go. And let's see, the first thing we're going to see here is our community composting station. Janet and I bring all of our compost over here. Oh, there's a blue jay hopping around in the tree. We don't get too many blue jays down here, not nearly as many as we have up north. There goes another one. Anyhow, here's the compost station. We bring all of our scraps over here, and you can see there's a bunch that are percolating right now. And so far, our community has kept over 3,000 pounds out of the landfill. That's pretty cool. All right, back on the track here. This is kind of a central open area. You can see some of the trees around here. And there's the blue jay again. He's kind of hopping along, following us a little bit. And I know a little bit about the birds and some of the trees and stuff down here, but not a whole lot. Here is a really cool spider web, but I don't think that's going to show up. Yeah, all sorts of gnarly spiders in Florida, but as long as they don't get in the house, we don't care. Yeah, so we're approaching some what I think are bald cypress trees, and then we also have some Florida slash pines here. Sorry about that. These are one of the most common trees in the forests of Florida. There's very few of them left in a lot of urban areas. Water Tower Park is one of the few places that has a native stand of them in Sarasota, other than bits and pieces other places. And there's the water tower. That's what the park is named after. You might hear some voices. There's some people over there working on the water tower. That blue jay is still following us. There he goes. So here we are going into the wooded part of the park. And we oftentimes see a lot of pileated, or some people call them pileated woodpeckers in here. They're North America's largest woodpecker. And yeah, we see quite a few in here on occasion, but they're kind of skittish, so I don't know if we'll get any today or not. This park also has a disc golf course in it. Pretty challenging one, I think, because of all these woods. And there's a lot of people that use it. Here's a squirrel. For my northern friends, Florida squirrels don't look anything like northern squirrels. They're gray and not nearly as plump. But there's a lot of them in here. So yeah, the disc golf course is pretty challenging. They have tournaments. There's an organization that kind of sponsors it. There's one of the, I guess you call it a goal. I don't know if you can see that amidst the woods, but anyhow, it's a basket, and that's where you're supposed to get your disc. Here's some of the canopy. This is a thing called a bioswale, and these were put in by the city not too long ago. And what they do is they pump up stormwater from the areas of the city that are all concrete, primarily downtown, and it dumps out here, and the bioswale kind of purifies it before it makes its way out to Sarasota Bay. So it's a water quality type of thing. You can see here it just kind of looks like a drainage ditch, but yeah, it's designed to kind of filter the water. And here's one of the disc golf signs. They're kind of in bad shape. but it gives you the information about the goal that you're working towards. Yeah, so this park is in the Bayou Oaks neighborhood of Sarasota. Bayou Oaks is named for Whitaker Bayou, which, for those of you that live up north, a bayou down here is what we would call a stream or a creek, or maybe a crick if you're in southern Ohio. So that flows through this area and then flows out into Sarasota Bay, which is just a little bit less than a mile from here. And the oaks are because of the prevalence of this tree, which you see all over the place in this area. These are called live oaks. And they drop acorns just like the oaks in the northern climate. But they don't ever completely lose their leaves. They kind of just go through a life cycle and drop a bunch of their leaves. But they're just finishing up their pollination cycle, which hopefully means that we'll be able to breathe better here before too much longer. Lots of different kinds of ground cover. I'm sure a lot of this is invasive, but there's probably some native things in here too. They do a pretty good job, I think, of managing this park. I just hope that they don't do anything more drastic in terms of the stormwater stuff, because that's a big problem in this community, and they're always looking for ways to try and figure out how to get the stormwater out of the downtown core, which they've turned into a concrete jungle. This is the edge of the neighborhood up against the park. Beautiful sun up in the canopy, or beautiful blue sky, I should say. It was windy here yesterday, but it's calmed down today. Feels like it's probably about 80 degrees. These are live oaks. Live oaks are what create kind of those famous southern canopies that you've probably seen in a lot of movies, and they usually have Spanish moss hanging on them, which you can see some of that right there. There are areas and roads down here that are called canopy roads, where the bayou oaks create that tunnel effect that you often see in movies glamorizing life in the South. We're really fortunate to live so close to this park. We have a lot of outdoor areas to, coming out of the woods for a bit. We have a lot of areas that we can walk and take in nature, but this is super convenient when we're busy. We can, just head over here, and this loop that I'm on is about 7/10 of a mile. I usually try to go around it 3 or 4 times, and I've been slowly increasing my pace. I'm up to about 3.3 or 3.4 miles per hour now. Not quite marathon pace, but getting close. Walking marathon, that is. This body doesn't run. This is probably bouncing around a lot, and I'm sorry about that. I don't have the smoothest gait. So here we are in another part that's heavily, lots of live oaks in here. And you can maybe hear some birds chirping and squawking. This is the other edge of the neighborhood. Several spots of the neighborhood comes into this park. This neighborhood is kind of, it's older, more working class. Most of the homes were built in the 50s and 60s, or post-World War II anyhow. There is a John Ringling model home on the back side of the park that he built in the 20s when he owned this and expected to develop it, but it was right before the big housing crash where he lost his shirt and basically all of his money and everything else. And the house is still here. It's on the National Register now, but the neighborhood basically sat dormant until after World War II when all the homes around here started getting developed. Here's one of the launches for the disc golf course. You can see the sign there, kind of tells you where you're headed, and there's a launch pad, I think is what they call that thing. This is kind of a cool tree. I don't know what it is. Janet would probably know, but look there. It's got really cool flowers and blossom, or whatever they are called. Green and waxy. I think I just saw a woodpecker jumping from that tree into that palm. But yep, there he is. I don't know if you'll be able to see him though. Here's a really old slash pine. Look at that all the way up. And it looks like it's mostly dead. Which means that if we're lucky, maybe an osprey will make its nest in there. We almost eliminated osprey through the use of DDT, along with its cousin and chief rival, the bald eagle. But they have made quite a comeback since that's been banned. We see a lot of them nowadays. Here's the bioswale again, kind of running down through the central part of the park. This is one of my favorite trees in the park. It's a slash pine, and it's just really nice. Good example of a healthy slash pine. Somebody recently put graffiti on the bottom of the water tower. They haven't covered back up yet. I don't understand some of that behavior, but that's okay. To each their own. Just it's not nice when you vandalize things. Look for places that you're welcome to do it. So we're coming up towards the parking lot again here. Kind of done a big loop. And there's a central path that kind of is shorter that goes through the middle part of the park. Here are more bald cypress, I think. These were completely bare up until about 2 weeks ago. And now it's spring here in Florida too, and they're starting to fill back up. Another squirrel. Hello, Mr. Squirrel. Got some cyclists coming towards us. I'm going to be quiet so they don't freak out that I'm videotaping them. Morning.
Morning.
And here's the central gazebo. A pet waste station. We so appreciate when people use waste station, not waste station. Appreciate when people use those. Here's another goal for the disc golf. And a really nice playground. I'm going to take you over here, see if we can catch the backside of the Ringling house. Oh, what was that? Oh, okay, just a piece of rubber. I thought you might be getting lucky and seeing a Florida black racer snake. Yeah, quite a few of those around here too. All right, so this is the back side of the Ringling House. You can see it's flat-roofed, kind of Spanish colonial style. It's really the only, or not, I'm not sure if it's Spanish colonial or what the name is for the flat-roofed adobe style, I think is what I meant to say, houses. And yeah, it's the only one in the neighborhood like that. So pretty cool place, probably worth a ton of money. All right, well, I'm gonna wrap up here. Gonna do another loop. There goes a common blackbird. Beautiful slash pine down there. Yeah, beautiful blue skies. I know your blue skies are coming soon, northern friends. So anyhow, thanks for watching. Hope it's not too boring. And yeah, if you live in Sarasota, come out and check out this park sometime. It's really easy to get to. Just take 47th Street off of the Tamiami Trail and you'll come right to it. See you soon.